Hello and hello, Chocoholic here for another video review. It's the new revamped Cadbury Heroes. Yes, how they revamped it, you say? Well, first of all, they got this paper tub, which is cardboard really, but I guess cardboard is paper maybe, I don't know. Shouldn't they're the same thing, sort of. You can recycle them at the same time, can't you? So there we go. But they've also finally got rid of the eclairs, but they've put in Cadbury Flake instead, so there we go. So is that a good decision, do you think? What do you reckon? Let me know, because basically, they already have Cadbury Twirl in there. And Twirl, for those you don't know, is basically a flake, but enrobed in chocolate, so it's the same thing really. So I feel like they could have been a bit more adventurous and put something else in there. I mean, you can see the selection on the back. I mean, what we got, I mean, those you don't know, by the way, it is a Cadbury chocolate selection of their sort of favourites. It used to be called Miniature Heroes, actually, which is just called Heroes now. I'm not sure when he changed that, but there we go. We've got Dinky Deckers, which is double decker, basically. Cadbury Twirl, of course. Cadbury Fudge. Fudge is one, you know. It's definitely the lowest on my list of this selection, I think. Maybe the Creme Egg Twisted as well. It's not that great, even though it's an interesting IP, I guess you'd say. But, yeah, Cadbury Flake, Dairy Milk, classic. Cadbury Dairy Milk Caramel. Cadbury Wispa, of course. Crunchie Bits as well. That's a pretty good one. Crunchie Bits, actually. It's not just a mini crunchy, but it's sort of like well, we'll find out for sure. But from memory anyway, it is basically, I don't know if it's actually dairy milk, is it? But it's chocolate with bits of crunch in there, bits of honeycomb. So that's quite nice. But for me, I don't know. I feel like the Flake, as I say, is quite similar to the Twirl, really. And I feel like maybe they could have put in, say, Cadbury Bourneville in there, the classic, you know, dark chocolate. I realise it's probably, you know, not meant to be a sort of refined selection, so maybe they think dark chocolate wouldn't be as, I don't know, would stand out a bit too much. But for me, I feel like just get rid of the fudge or the twisted, and maybe not have the flake, you know, and had Cadbury Bourneville in there. They do the Bourneville salted caramel now as well, which is really nice, you know. So put that in there, you know, push the boat out a bit. I don't know, just feel like yeah, don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, the fudge, I guess, is different enough. There's always a fudge in these selections, isn't there? You know, Quality Street's got a fudge in there. Roses has got a fudge in there. This has got a fudge in there. You know, but I feel like, I don't know. There's more interesting ones that could be around, really. And as I say, but maybe, you know, maybe in addition, have like, there's 9 different chocolates in here. Maybe make 10. You know, they could easily do that, couldn't they? Although it would take the amount of the others down. You know, I'm sure anyway. I don't think they'd give us more for the same price, that's for sure. But then again, it looks alright. It feels quite solid. You know, it's a cardboard tub, but it doesn't feel, well, paper tub it says, but it's basic cardboard. It doesn't feel weak. You know what I mean? I feel like it's sturdy. You know, I feel like it could take a bit of weight. Maybe not as much as the, well, I don't know, there's sort of plastic tubs, you know, I don't know, maybe not as much as one of those maybe, but obviously it would deform. Plastic would just, you know, would snap first, but most likely anyway. But it feels substantial. It doesn't feel like you know, it doesn't feel flimsy. It feels more solid than the regular sort of tubs that, well, are they tubs, those cardboard sort of ones they do for the smaller selections of them. But yeah, it feels alright. It feels alright. So what else have we got? So we've got a seal on the side as well, so there is a seal there. Looks like it opens in a spectacular fashion as well. We're interested to see how that works. And of course, as I mentioned on the back, we've got those ones in the selection. What does it say? We are passionate about our great quality, so get in touch and happy, stuff like that. Occasionally it's necessary to replace particular chocolate with another of an equally high standard. What does that mean? Occasionally it's necessary to replace a particular chocolate with another of equally high standard. What does that mean? Could you end up with, I don't know, could you end up with a Bourneville in here? I don't know, it's strange, isn't it? I'm not sure what that's trying to suggest there. Right, keep them in a cool, dry place, stuff like that. Right, exposed heat can cause the cocoa butter to move to the surface and harmless white bloom develop on the chocolate. An assortment of chocolates, it says. Alright, and there's the ingredients there. Make of that what you will. It's got palm fat in, as you can see. Right. Okay, Dinky Decker may contain peanuts. Dinky Decker unit. So it's got milk chocolate, milk size 14% minimum, milk chocolate, milk size 20% minimum. Contains vegetable fats addition to cocoa butter, 550 grams in total. When it's time to recycle, simply flatten your tub and pop it in with your paper recycling. Easy. Alright, fair enough. What about the wrappers though? Can the wrappers be recycled? Let's see, what does it say? The individual wrappers inside this paper tub remain in plastic to preserve the great taste of our chocolate. Help us by separating and recycling these packs. Alright, so the wrappers, you can't recycle at home, but you can recycle at bags at large supermarkets. But when I've seen equivalent Republic of Ireland offerings where they said, which had the sort of like Republic of Ireland instructions as well as UK one, they say you can recycle at home. So why you can't at home in the UK, I don't know, and it's really frustrating. Hope they sort that out at some point. Alright. Because then of course you could just throw it all in, couldn't you? In the same, maybe the same one, I don't know, hopefully. But there we go, recycling mates. I've heard apparently they're going to be consolidating to make it a bit more straightforward soon, but we'll see. Alright, I don't know if there's much more to say really. I think we just need to move stuff down, give this an open. So quite looking forward to this. We'll check out the distribution as well and take it from there. So yeah, let's move stuff down, open them up. Okay everyone, okay, we're going to these Cadbury Heroes and open. Share good times, it says. Alright, so a big star in the background there that you can see. So we're going to try and open this up. I don't know if I can fit it all on the camera. I mean, it says, well, first of all, we've got new Flake there, as we said before. Break seal to open there. So on both sides. So, yeah, let's give it a go. Seems to suggest we just pull it back there. I don't know. Seems a bit, like, it's got an arrow pointing there, as I say, but I can't. It doesn't really rip. There we go. So it has a special seal. Look at that. It's like a collectible card or something. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I don't think that's opened it up exactly. I might have to do the other side as well. It's a bit of a palaver to open. I'm sure they could have had. I'm sure they have. You know, normally they have sort of like cardboard breakable seals, don't they? So why they can't in this case, I don't know. Unless they reinforce it somehow. All right, so that's a bit of a palaver, but I'm sure that could be more straightforward. Well, it's not that difficult. But you know what I mean. All right, so there we go. All right. And there we are, so we've got it open. So we've got a nice top bottom there. So it says, Cadbury Heroes, this new pack is part of a trial aiming to reduce our plastic packaging in the future and bring you more of your favourites. What do you think? Scan it, let us know. Or visit heroes.cadbury.co.uk. Right, well, scan there, guys, and let me know what you reckon to it. I'm not unimpressed by it. I like the tubs, I like the metal tubs, they're very nostalgic. What's that nonsense there? Some kind of, you know, recycle code thing. But we got a bit of a design on the bottom as well. I think that's quite nice. It's not, you know, going to blow your socks off, but it's a nice design. I feel like it's pretty good. I'm not against it though. As I say, I do like the tin tubs. You know, they're very nostalgic. And the plastic ones I'm not bothered about at all, really. So, you know, yeah. But there we go. And here's the contents. So quite a sizable amount of choc, you'd say. Not too bad. So we'll see what the distribution's like. Of course, here we go. Look at this. The new star, Cadbury's Flake. In hand, the yellow is a bit of a luminescent yellow almost. Luminous, I'm not sure. On the camera it looks a bit better, but in hand, it's not the classic Flake colour that I'm used to, you know, which is more the Twirl yellow there. You can see there's a slight difference in the colours there, can't you? And the Twirl colour is what I would say is the Flake yellow, whereas this yellow here isn't really, it's something else. So I'm a bit disappointed with that. I don't like where they got the purple on the Flake either. You know, for me, Flake, it was just all yellow like this, you know. But they've introduced a bit of purple in recent years. Although it's more yellow now, it used to be a bit more purple, I think, at least on these mini ones. Maybe the big ones, it's still predominantly purple. But let's see what distribution's like anyway. Let's take them all out. We shall see. I don't know the best. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this yellow on the Flake at all. I know it doesn't matter particularly, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. Right. So I don't know best to do this. Might have to make some room. Dinky Deckers. Fudges. Dinky Deckers have got so much. I mean, you know, look at this amount of wasted packaging on that. Look at that. So much wasted packaging. You know what I mean? It's just tiny. You know, half the size what those are. You know, if you look, that's what it's really like. You know, it's just tiny compared to that. Look at that. Absolutely ridiculous. You know, you talk about wasted packaging and trying to, you know, come on Cadbury, sort yourself out. Same with the fudges to an extent. Yeah, so a bit disappointing that. There's lots of, I mean, you know, I'm sure Nestle did a paper packaging, didn't they, as well, in Quality Street not too long ago. So, no, it's not Twirl there. I'll try and keep these in a rough or semblance of some kind of order, but it's going to be difficult as we get more of them out. So there's quite a lot of Crunchie Bits there. So I don't know, we're trying to make sure that there's basically a reasonably good distribution here. You know, have some, not all the same size and things, you know, but obviously it's not the point. You still want the same amount of them, wouldn't you? Because if you were, you know, like the Wispas or something, even if they are bigger than the Fudges or whatever, you would be annoyed if you ran out before you managed to get some because you offered a couple to your friends or something like that. So yeah, all right. So you know, it's a conundrum that, but it's one for Cadbury to sort, not for us to worry about. So that's where I'm coming in with this to find out just whether we do have to worry about it. Alright, so yeah, I'm really not a fan of this yellow. I really don't like this yellow. I mean, on the camera, but in your hand it's really luminescent. As I say, if you just compare it to that Twirl yellow, you know, I'm not a fan of that at all. As I say, it doesn't really matter because the flavour's what's, you know, the chocolates itself is what matters, but nonetheless, I'm here to comment on stuff like that, and that's what I'm doing. Alright, so Empty the tub. We'll see if we can kind of get these. So basically flakes, there's 5 of them. 5 flakes. Let's see, so this is difficult. We'll put the twirls on top of the flakes, I think, just to make it easy. So there's only 4 twirls. 4 twirls I've got there. It's not great. We'll do these twisters out of the way. In fact, we've got the twisteds here, so there's 6 twisteds. 6 twisteds. Camel dairy milk. There's 7 of those. Can't quite see, it's coming off the camera a bit there. Apologies, but there's 7 of them. Dairy milk over here. There's 5 of those. So, not great distribution. Oh, there's another twirl there. 5 twirls. Right, it's 5 twirls. So there's only 4, but 1 appeared. A wild twirl appeared. Alright, so Dinky Deckers. Quite a few of these, by the looks of it. There's 8 of those Dinky Deckers, at least so far. This one's hidden somewhere, but I don't think it is. Right, Wispas. Alright, so there's 6 Wispas. Crunchie Bits. 6 of those. Right, did I say 6 Wispas? Yeah. 7 Wispas. There's 7. There's 1 hidden there, so 7 Wispas. And 7 Fudges. So, yeah, alright, so I don't think you can quite see. Might be difficult, but there's 5 flakes, 5 twirls, 6 twisteds, 7 dairy milk caramels, 7 Wispas, 8 Dinky Deckers, 5 dairy milks, 6 Crunchie Bits, or Crunchie Bits, whatever you call it, and 7 Fudges. So yeah, so 5 of some, 7 of some others, basically, which is a bit, I don't know, I think you would say that, yeah, you'd expect it to be all the same. Why is there not 6 of each, basically? So, don't know, a bit disappointing that, but nonetheless, that's what's happened. Not too bad, though, all the same. I've seen worse distributions, that's for sure. At least it's kind of roughly there. But as I say, you've got 8 Dinky Deckers, but only, 5 twirls, 5 flakes, 5 dairy milks. So, 5 Crunchie Bits. So yeah, but then, as I say, 7 of some others, which is a bit poor as well. Which is between 5 and 8, isn't it, with the Dinky Deckers? Yeah, so, bit disappointing, as I say, 6 of some, 8 of some others. So yeah, they definitely could make this a bit more equal, I think. But yeah, but I've seen worse, that's for sure. But alright, how do these taste? Well, we'll rate them all individually, I think, and yeah, give them open, look at them all, as I say, and yeah, take it from there. So, quite looking forward to this. Let's zip myself up, give them a taste. Okay, everyone, okay, got these new Cadbury here as well. So new, so got a new flake in there, and it's new design tub as well. It's a trial they're doing, basically. But yeah, Cadbury's here as a taste, and why not? Got all of them to give a go. We just looked at distribution before. Basically, long story short is some of them have got as got 5, and some of them, one of them, Dinky Decker's got 8 in there, and some of them got 6 and 7 and stuff like that. So 5 to 8 basically is the distribution. It could be better, really. You'd think they all should be basically 6 of each, shouldn't they, really, or 7 of each maybe. So but there we go. All right. Well, tell you what we'll do, we'll save the twirl till last. I think we'll give the others a go. We'll rate them individually as well. Got my individual star system going on, if I can find it. But here we go. So yeah, basically we can give them an individual rating. See what like at the end. I think basically I normally give here is around a 3-4 out of 5. I think it is. I think it's been increasing my in my opinion in recent years. I think I was originally thinking it was a bit too sort of bland at one point. I'm not too sure, but don't know. Nonetheless, it's got a bit of a decent selection, but it's very sickly. There's lots of very milk chocolatey, but there we go. So, all right, we'll have a look at the fudge first. Why not? Let's give a look at the fudge. Pretty good one. So yeah, quite small. But you can see again, if you just look at the size of it compared to they talk about just sort of sorting out their packaging to stop wasting and stuff like that and better for recycling. Look at that. Just look at that, it's half the size basically, isn't it? It's half the size. So yeah, so a bit of rubbish that, to be honest with you. Alright, so we've got the calipers here, we'll give a bit of a measure then. See, so yeah, we can go smaller or bigger or whatever, we'll know about it. So about 4 centimetres there, 4.1. The width, a bit wobbly bits at the side, but about 1.9. Yeah, let's say it's a bit wavy at the, you can see, but there we go. And height about 1.2. Alright, well, if we just need to give it a go, give it a taste, and why not? I'm quite fudge a bit indifferent to, really, but no, it's still not terrible, but let's give it a bit of a taste. That's the centre of it there. And that kind of nice, it doesn't taste like fudge. It's not too sweet. You know, if you go to sort of like one of these touristy shops that sell fudge, it's just ridiculously sweet. It's too sweet for me generally. It doesn't really taste like that. It tastes more like a cross between that and a Milky Way maybe. It's quite light and fluffy. It's not too bad, but it's a bit boring if you know what I mean. It is a sort of kids' chocolate, isn't it? Really, and then one is like, well, it used to be 10p, it's about 50p now, something like that. But for a fudge chocolate bar, but it's okay. It's all right. I say quite a fluffy centre, a bit like a more solid, more firm Milky Way. I think you describe it as. It's okay. This is the one that I think probably could be replaced in here, just for something a bit more interesting. But it is a bit different than all the others, I must say. So you know, I don't know. It's not as bad as the eclairs was, that's for sure. It's definitely more enjoyable than that. So I think a good 3, maybe a 3.5. But I think I'll say 3 out of 5 for that one. It's not too bad, but definitely could be more of an interesting product in this selection, I reckon. Alright, so I think leaving for that, let's try the Dinky Decker then. Again, you know, you can see just, goodness me, it's basically a small version there, double decker. It's quite nice that they've done something a bit different, but let's open this and see just how much smaller than the real. So there we go, it's tiny, look how small it is. Now compare this to the actual packaging you get. And look at it, it's not even half. Ridiculous. I mean, as I say, Cadbury trying to sort of sort out their packaging, you know. I mean, come on, Cadbury, sort, you know. Right, I'm just looking for the calipers. I've got them here. All right. Let's check it was zeroized. Not quite there. Look at that. Okay. All right. Let's give a measure then. So roughly, in fact, we'll turn it upside down and do it. It's a bit of a novel top. It's a bit 3.4 maybe. Yeah, 3.4. The width 1.8, height 1.2 if you round up. Okay, alright. Well, let's give it a bit of a go then. I could probably just eat the whole thing on this one. You know, do one a bit in half. This one, goodness me. I feel like these ones, from previous experience, they had they're better when you double them up, ironically enough. Well, it's called Dinky Decker and Double Decker, but yeah, of course, you could eat it upside down in previous instances and have it a decker double, but I think this is not quite the same as a double decker. Well, I'll give it a nibble. We'll see, but I don't think it's basically a double decker's. You know, top half's nougat, the bottom half's like a sort of crunchy, chocolatey mix. I think with little Rice Krispie pieces. This one I think is just a mix of both together. But let's give it a taste. Basically mix them both together here. Not terrible. It's like with a chewy texture. Some crunchy bits. Chocolate's okay. Nothing too dramatic with the chocolate, to be honest. It's not like dairy milk or anything like that. But okay, I feel like you'd have to eat them 2 at a time for those ones for some reason. It just makes them a bit more substantial. That's what I've always found. But no, it's not bad. That's a nice chewy sort of nougat centre, bit of crunchy bits. Quite like it. I think it's a 3.5, 4. It's, you know, yeah. I think the real double deckers used to be one of my favourite bars, but they've gone down a bit in my estimations a bit lately. I don't know, they're just not quite as interesting as I used to think they were. This one, as I say, the real double decker's got a lot of nougat in it. It's very fluffy, really tasty. You can't really taste it as much in this one, but it's quite nicely proportioned and it works quite well all the same. So it's a different product completely, really, but just based on a double decker. So 3.5 for 4. Let's say 3.5 out of 5, but I think it's probably close to, well, it's closer to a 4 than a 3, that's for sure. But yeah, there we go. Alright, so going into a bit more of the, well, go to the Twisties now. This is, well, I'm not too fussed about generally. It's based on the Cadbury Creme Egg, but it doesn't really have the appeal of a cream egg for me. It's kind of like, you know, it was, I don't think they sell it individually anymore, they used to, but it's just a sort of, it's not quite a cream egg sense, it's not quite the same either, I don't think. It's similar to it, but you know, there you go, because it's got like this sort of wavy, honey, like this, what do they call those things they move honey around with for some reason, I don't quite know why, you know, but there we go. Yeah, right, let's give it a bit of a measure. I do feel like they're getting quite small, these, you know, I don't know if they are, my imagination, but 2.7, and the width 2.7 again. Alright, interesting. Okay, there's a bit wavy this one, so 1.5 there. 1.5, 1.6, depending on where you get it, because it is a bit knobbly. Alright, well, let's give this a bit of a taste. It might be a bit messy, this one, but we'll see. Nibble it in half. I mean, you can tell, but clearly that isn't the same as a cream egg. You know, it's like just an all orangey sort of off orange centre. It doesn't really taste like a cream egg either. It's just got like a fondant sort of centre, you know, but it's not like a cream egg. It doesn't have the chocolate's not as thick. The centre doesn't really taste as the same. I don't know, it's not the same because it's a bit more sugary, a bit more bordering on, not quite solid in the actual cream egg, but it's more solid than this, you know. I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. It's just not interesting. It's different. It's quite sweet, but the chocolate's not particularly good. The centre's not particularly great. It's alright, it's just a bit different. So it's a 2.5 out of 3, that one, really. But I think probably, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, say a 3 out of 5, just because it's a bit different. But you can see, it was like this sort of Cadbury Creme Egg bar they did not long ago, where the segments were made from that same stuff as well. Basically, that was a Cadbury Twisted, I guess, wasn't it? Yeah, was it Dairy Milk Cream? I can't remember what it was now, but yeah. So yeah, it's just not got actual cream egg in it. You know, it's something else. So a bit disappointing, that, to say the least. But all right, let's continue on. Let's go to the let's see, kind of Crunchie Bits now. Let's try that. So yeah, and again, you know, I didn't mention it before, the cream egg, but again, or the Twisted, whatever it is. But you can see, just, you know, so much dead space here. They could fit so much more chocolate in, or make it a smaller box. They just got rid of all this and do it tightly packed. All right. That's what it looks like. It says Cadbury on there. It's a typical chunk. Pretty good. So some of the Cadbury chunks, I think this is a more of the bigger size, but some of them, you know, when you see in this Cadbury 50th anniversary box, whatever it was, and there's some of the other selections there, they've got like a whole nut one, a dairy milk, and something else in. Some of the chunks, when they introduced, I think, Cadbury white and caramel milk into it as well, they were smaller. Right, 2.7. On the side, 2.7 again, yep, the height. It's domed at the top, but you know, 1.6 round up. Okay. Right, let's give it a nibble. Quite excited for this one. Let's see. Lots of little honeycomb pieces there. Plenty of them as well. That's a nice one, that one. They're one of the better ones, and it works really well. I'd say it's better than actual crunchy, like. Really nice. Lovely bits of honeycomb in there. Nice chocolate as well. It's not dairy milk, I don't think, but it's it still tastes nice. I think it's a lovely one, that one. I'll say those little crunchy bits of honeycomb really work well. And it's better than actual crunchy, that. So, yeah, I love those. Very nice. I think 4.5 maybe is too much. I think a 4 is a good score. 4 out of 5 for those ones. Yeah, very nice indeed, that. Not too bad at all. Alright, so let's try the Wispa then. Right, the classic Cadbury product. Even they discontinued it, you know, 20 years. Was it 20 years ago? Just maybe a bit before. I remember they came back, and I remember searching for them and found them. But, you know, quite wise. Still brought that back, the Wispa Bite or the Wispa Mint. But there we go. But again, you can see just how small it is compared to the wrapper. You know, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? Looks nice though. Got a sort of whispery, wavery look to it that Wispa bars have. Flat on the bottom there. All right, let's give it a measure. All right, about 2.7 that side. That's what this one is. 2.7 again. And height about 1.2. Oh, it's quite about 1.6, aren't they? Just about. If you just round up, just about. Okay, let's give it a go. It's aerated chocolate base. This one, classic bar. Probably better with the caramel in it, the Wispa Gold, but nonetheless, still nice. Let's see. Very velvety. Look at that. Because it's like a separate aerated sort of product with covered in chocolate, can't you? You can see there's definitely you know, two different things going on there. But yeah, very nice that. Lovely. I think definitely works better with the caramel though. But it's very nice. Just very, very soft and velvety, and I love how sort of small the bubbles are as well. Unlike Aero, which have got really big bubbles, this is nice and small. Although I think the Aero sort of melts have got smaller bubbles in. But very nice, yeah. I like that one a lot. I think the Wispa Gold is where it's at though, to be honest with you. But still very nice. I think again, probably dead centre, 4 out of 5 that one, to be honest with you. A nice product, that one. Very nice indeed, yeah. Nice indeed. Okay, let's try the let's try just a regular dairy milk. Let's try the one with caramel first. I want to compare them to see how the caramel, whether the actual dairy milk's better or not. Could be a difficult one, this one. I might have to go back and you know, after tasting the dairy milk, try the caramel again on its own. Let's see, a nice chunk. There we go. It says Cadbury on it. Okay, check that was a 0 eyes, yes. Alright, 2.7. 2.7, if you round up, just very close. And 1.5 this time, so yeah, alright, not quite 1.6 this time. Okay, I'm expecting this to be quite runny, so we'll see. Yeah, apologies in advance if I make a mess. Let's give it a go. Goodness me, not bad at all. That not bad. See how just how runny and caramely it is. Lots of caramel in there. I might just have to eat this one. So just cut out a bit there. The alarm just just started going off. Just about to talk about it. Brilliant, good, perfect timing, you know. But very nice, very buttery caramel actually. Does normally you just eat the whole chunk. I think of that caramel everywhere, but not bad that one. Well, the caramel wasn't quite as buttery as I remember it being. No, it wasn't quite as substantial as I remember it being actually. But it wasn't bad. I don't know. It didn't come across quite as, let's say, quite as buttery as normal. So it was okay. But I feel like, yeah, maybe. I think again it's another definitely above average chocolate, but maybe could be better. So I think it's close to a 3.5 than a 4.5 this one, but I'm still going to say 4 out of 5. But a bit disappointing that one. I felt like it was not quite as interesting or as buttery. The caramel wasn't quite as tasty as I remembered it being. But there we go. Right, let's try the classic, the dairy milk then. Let's have a see. Alright, so again, quite a substantial chunk this one. Still got caramel all over my fingers, so apologies for that. Alright, let's see if this is any different in size. 2.7, that's pretty much the same, isn't it? 2.7 again, and the height. Is it 1.7, I think, normally, 1.6? Yeah, 1.5, alright, so yeah, okay. So solid chocolate, this one. Just Cadbury's staple chocolate. Let's give it a go. See, it's not quite as there's no aerations in that one, or like a Wispa. Not bad actually. Not bad. I feel like not quite as velvety. It doesn't seem to come across quite as you know. Let's give it the rest of it a nibble. Yeah. I think you probably it is. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not quite as velvety as I remember, but it is. It's nice. It's nice. It's feel like the chocolate comes across better in the Cadbury caramel, dairy milk caramel. Dairy milk caramel. I think you can't really taste the dairy milk in that one, to be honest with you. May as well not really be dairy milk. It's pretty good. I think it's pretty nice actually. I think it's better than the Cadbury caramel because the chocolate's just a lot. You know, you can just taste the dairy milk a lot better. You just can't really in the Cadbury caramel for whatever reason. So, yeah. I think maybe a 4, 4.5. Well, the Cadbury caramel is close to a 3.5 than a 4. I think the dairy milk is close to a 4.5, that's for sure. But whether it's really a 4.5, I don't know. Yeah, I think I would stick with 4 out of 5. But if there was a 4.05, whatever it is, I don't know. You know, it would be that. But whatever the difference is there. But yeah, well, 4.25 maybe. That's what it is. But there we go. All right, let's try the twirl. So saving the flake to last. So I've got the twirl, which is basically an enrobed flake, I think you'd say. Let's see what this one's like. So quite a reasonable length. Not sure how long it is compared to a full flake finger, or a twirl finger rather. Alright, let's see. About 4.7, 4.8, or 4.8 if you round up really. It's not, there is a bit of a lip and stuff like that, and wavy bits. 1.7 in width and height. 1.4. Alright, so the flake is notoriously crumbly. So the twirl could be a bit crumbly, so I'll put a plate underneath me just in case. Let's give it a bit of a nibble. It is nice that. You see it's got the wispy, wavy chocolate there. Similar to a flake. Not bad at all that. Lovely. I'll say it's I feel like it's probably better in a bigger bar form. I think you just get more of the more of the experience of a twirl there. You know, it's just, you can tell it's kind of like all, you know, just a bit bigger, and it just means that the gaps and things are just a bit more obvious. But overall, it's not bad, that one at all. You can quite plain, you know, but still nice. I think a solid 4 out of 5, that one. It's basically chocolate, but the sort of the holes and the, you know, the layers of chocolate, it's basically layered in, isn't it? Just really work very nicely. Just give it a nice indulgent experience, basically. But okay, I've got the flake now. Again, I'm not a fan of this yellow. It's just too yellow. I say the flake yellow is the same yellow as the twirl, really. You can see the difference, can't you? There, you know what I mean? It's just a bit too luminous. Right. You need squeeze to fight over the luminous pens. Luminous yellow, honestly. Okay, things got it. Right, so let's give it an open then. Have to be careful with this one. Okay, it seems pretty solid so far. So you can kind of tell, but it's basically a twirl, but it's not been enrobed. But you can see it's a lot more flaky, can't you? You know, clearly the thickness of the chocolate on the outside of a twirl does make up a lot of it. You can see there, definite big difference there. Not sure if it looks very nice actually, does it? The flake when you look at it like that, but yeah, nonetheless, you can see what it's about. There we go. Yeah. So it's holding together, which is pretty good. Although whether it will when I start measuring it is another matter. So have to be careful. Okay, it's a bit long at the bottom. This is not a perfect shape. I don't know if you can hear bits falling off onto the wrappers below. About 3.9. The height. .6, almost in the middle there. And the width. Again, you know, if it was this size and covered in chocolate, like a twirl, 1.7, would that be, you know, how would that be? But maybe an actual full-size twirl maybe is a bit more like this. Okay, definitely going to need a plate for this one, I think. Now then, was it worth putting this in? Does it make all the difference? Let's give it a go. You can definitely tell it's lots of layers of chocolate. It's nice actually, but I don't know. I'm not. It feels like it's been altered a bit to make it hold together a bit better for sure. You know, I do feel that way. I'll just try sort of snapping this in half again. And just buy some other half off this one. It does fall off a bit, but okay. Bits did fall off, so we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but it doesn't quite feel as, I don't know, it feels a bit more solid than the normal, I think. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but yeah, it was alright, but it didn't feel, the chocolate didn't come across that great, to be honest with you. I don't know. I did re-review Flake and Ripple not long ago, and I found that the Ripple was so much better actually, which was really surprising. I thought the Flake would run away with it, but it's okay. It's not great, to be honest with you. I feel like the twirl covers it, to be honest with you. I feel like the twirl gives you what that gives you. I don't feel like the chocolate tastes that great actually. It's not, I don't know. It's alright, it's more about the texture of course, as you might imagine, but the chocolate's not anything too special. I'm disappointed by that one really. It's okay. I don't dislike it. They're all nice in the selection, of course. Most chocolate products are nice, which is why the average chocolates are 3 out of 5 on this channel. This one's slightly above average, but you know, not by much. I think a 3.5 out of 5, basically. Yeah, interesting. It's nice. It does what it does. It is a flake. You see it, so you get the texture, but the taste is not really that great, to be honest with you. And I feel like the twirl gives you the same thing, but slightly better as well. So, yeah. Bit of a pointless inclusion, that one, I feel. I don't like the yellow on it either, as I say, that really annoys me. Overall, I feel like they could have put something better. I think if they maybe put the salted caramel Bourneville or just a regular Bourneville chunk, I think that would have been a lot better in addition. But maybe just don't want to put dark chocolates in this. You know, it seems a bit strange to me. But yeah, there we go. So overall, I think there's quite a lot going on here. It's a nice selection. There's lots. There isn't really any weak ones anymore. The eclairs were a weak one. I guess maybe the fudge, maybe the twisted are close, but the eclairs, you know, they were they were a rung or two lower than all the others. They were just so poor. I get that they're different, but they're just not. They're not the kind of product that should be in this. If you're not going to put a dark chocolate in, which is, I would say, which is a lot closer to these than the eclair is, then well, you shouldn't have the eclair in. It's just madness. I don't know. So I'm glad they've got rid of that. I hope they get rid of it for good. I hope it's not a temporary thing. It's just pointless having it in this one. you know, I'd eat it, but it would always be the ones that were left over, and you had nothing else gone. There'd just be like 10 of them at the bottom or something. So yeah, so that's good. So overall, the selection is pretty nice. I feel like some of them, you know, I feel like the Crunchie Bits ones is a really standout one. It just tastes probably just a lot more interesting than a lot of the other things. You know, it's just better than its a larger counterpart. The Dinky Deckers maybe again as well, but you have to have a couple of them at once, I think, rather than just one. Overall, it's pretty good. It's a good selection, to be honest with you. I feel like the Flake is better than the eclairs, but they could have had something else that would have added more to the set. And overall, the set as well, I feel like there's, you know, I feel like it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid, but I feel like maybe, I don't know, there's quite a lot of similarities here. The Twirl and the Flake are very similar. The Wispa, I guess it's, you know, not a million miles away from the dairy milk. It's a bit different. And I don't know, the caramel, I guess, and yeah, it's nothing like, not like the Twisted or anything, but the Twisted one doesn't really, I don't know, come across too well. I don't know, I feel like there's just, I don't know. I feel like there could be something a bit more interesting maybe. It's not like I feel like there are different enough. There is a good selection here, but maybe it's just, you know, I don't know. It's not, it's hard to sort of look at them and think, oh, I just want like I mean, the close to a palate cleanser you've got in here is probably the dairy milk, you know, just a regular chocolate, but and you feel like there might just be could be a bit more variety in here somehow, even though there is quite a lot of variety. I don't know what it is. It's a bit of a funny one, you know. Hope you understand what I mean. There is a lot of variety in here, but I feel like there's not a lot of variety in the variety, if that makes sense. So yeah. So I think for me overall, I think it's a good 4 out of 5. The selection. It's not too bad at all. I think it ticks most of the boxes, but there's some questionable additions here. And let's say the Flake and the Twirl being together. I don't know about that. I feel like they could have done something more. And there's no dark or white chocolates in. And while you might not be a massive fan of dark or white chocolates, I feel like in a selection like this, that's where those kind of things are pretty good to have, really. Especially with the Cadbury Heroes salted caramel, which is really nice. So, yeah. Interesting. Well, what do you think, guys? What do you reckon to the new edition of the Flake? Yeah, what do you reckon? Do you prefer the eclairs? Did you like them? You know, would you prefer something else in? And what if you did get the option to pick something else to go instead of the Flake? What would you have? Let me know. Leave a comment or free. Always great to hear from you. Always do best to reply. And have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. See ya.